Thank you, everyone. I always appreciate folks joining our presentations, our professional learning sessions. So I feel thankful today. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. So we've been covering different AI tools for the past 2 weeks. We've been going over mainly Gemini because it's brand new and every staff member has access to it. So first we went over Gemini for efficiency. Last week, we went over creative uses. Today is sort of like an extension of last week, still continuing with the creative aspect of these tools. I see Laura. Thank you for joining us, Laura. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. So today, we're going to be going over a brand new tool that all staff members also have access to. It's Google Vids. This was enabled maybe like 2 months ago, 2 or 3 months ago. I still encounter many people that don't know that they have access to this tool. So today we're going to go over it, see what it is, and how to use it for storytelling, using it with our students as well as ourselves if we want to create something new. Okay, so I have a slide deck here. I'm going to be switching between different tabs because this is the best way for me to share my audio. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get confused and think I'm sharing a tab when I'm not, and I'll be going over something completely different. If I'm talking about a slide that's not presented, feel free to unmute, yell at me, or put in the chat, "Hey, we don't see what you're talking about." That's happened before. I'm not gonna take offense. So again, if I'm talking about something that you don't see, just let me know, and I'll switch over the tabs. But right now, folks should be seeing my slide deck entitled Visual Storytelling with Google Vids. So let's move on with that. But first, I got a question. What's one of your favorite movies? I'm curious. If you have access to the chat, if you feel inclined, if the spirit moves you, feel free to put in the chat what's one of your favorite movies. Just to get in the mood of this idea of storytelling and using visuals as a way to convey a message. So feel free to put in there. What's one of your I love the Goonies. Oh man, I almost hope they don't remake that because I love the original so much. We got the Goonies in there, The Notebook, classic. Ferris Bueller, Laura, thank you. Takes place in my hometown, Chicago. I have some stills up here. Jurassic Park. I remember watching that in theaters as a young boy, being very scared. I love that franchise. I have some images here. Indiana Jones, in the middle. Up. If you've not cried during the first 5 minutes of that movie, are you even human? You probably are an AI robot. Shawshank Redemption, one of the greatest movies. Sandlot, League of Their Own. Thank you, Lilo and Stitch. Wonderful. Thank you so much. If you feel inclined, feel free to put in the chat what's one of your favorite movies. If I had to think, it's one of my favorite movies. I love the Indiana Jones series. Dirty Dancing, classic. I'm a big fan of Back to the Future series. There's also like a lesser known movie, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I love that movie, all about erasing your memory. Anyhow, so yes, thank you all for sharing what one of your favorite movies is. Feel free to add them more in the chat. So today, who am I? My name is Santi Karasamy. I founded a company called Project Recess over 10 years ago. Who are we? What do we do? We are an official Google for Education partner. Essentially, we've been spending the past 10 years partnering with schools and helping schools use technology for teaching and learning. We focus a lot on Google tools. Before it was cool, before the central domains were rolled out, we were helping schools understand what Google Docs is and how it could help. And look at us now. We've been doing a lot of this work. And this year, 2 months ago, we were recently recognized as the Google Cloud Partner of the Year with our work with New York City. So thank you all for your support and partnering with us. So that being said, today's objectives are not that. I'm going to refresh my screen. Yoink. Okay. I didn't want to go too crazy with it. I didn't want to drink from a fire hose that much. And so I removed one of the objectives. Today is pretty simple. Today I want us to go over what Google Vids is and how can you use this video editing AI powered tool to help you tell stories and to help you with your teaching and your learning with your students. So it's going to be super, interactive in terms of I'll show you what to do. If you want to follow along, I encourage that. If you just want to hang back and watch, that's fine too. Jackie finally joining me for one of my sessions. Very happy to have you here. And so those are the objectives for today. And so this is a brief overview of the agenda. I'm going to give you all an overview of what Vids is, and we're going to explore some of the features. All right. So first, before we get into that, I just want to reiterate for all the, Laura, thank you. I just want to reiterate that every staff member has access to Gemini, which is Google's version of ChatGPT. So you can get there by going to gemini.google.com. All right. So I'm just making sure we got the whole crew joining us today. Lisa, welcome to everybody joining us today. So again, I'm just going to do a very brief overview of what these tools are. So again, like 2 weeks ago, every teacher in New York City now has access to Gemini. Again, Google's version of ChatGPT. And when you go to gemini.google.com, you get what's called it's the Gemini app. Honestly, I don't know anyone that calls it that, but that's the official name. But that is the Gemini app. It looks like this thing here on the left, where you have like your chat at the bottom, and you can ask it questions, just like your traditional AI tool, like ChatGPT, like Claude, similar to the chat feature in Magic School. They all work pretty similarly, okay? I'm not gonna do a deep dive into that, but I just want people to know that you have access to Gemini, and it's a super powerful tool. The question I get all the time, why should I use Gemini instead of ChatGPT, or name your tool here? Well, one of the reasons why you should consider using Gemini in your practice is data protection. I know that's not the, sexiest, feature, but it's a very important feature. If you're using something like ChatGPT that is not IRMA approved at the moment, this means anything you put into ChatGPT or another AI tool that's not approved for, New York City Public School use, all of those conversations are being shared with OpenAI. All of those conversations are being used to train its AI models to be better, to understand, have more context. So there's really no privacy in that. So definitely don't put any personally identifiable information such as student info, your info. Definitely should not be using that with ChatGPT. However, you can use those things with Gemini. Luisa, yes, I believe Magic School is currently IRMA approved, so there are built-in data protections there. But I've been working closely with Google and like getting a better understanding of what their process was to go through the IRMA approval process. And it took a while because they made sure that it was completely safe. So anything that anything that you feel comfortable putting in like a Google Doc, or like even your Outlook, which includes like, personal information, either about yourself, your colleagues, your students, you can put those things in Gemini in your New York City Public Schools accounts, and you don't have to worry about like any like data breaches or anything like that. Okay, so all the data protection stuff is in place. Thank you, Laura. IRMA status is in the chat. This is a group collaborative effort. So all this being said, feel free to check out Gemini. Again, gemini.google.com is the link. And definitely use that with your New York City Public Schools, your @schools accounts. All right. If you have questions about that, I'll hang out after this session. We can talk a little bit more about Gemini. But, let's be real. Most of us are using Google Docs and the Google, workspace for our work. Why not use an AI tool that already is seamless with that environment? That being said, another one of those tools that can help us is this thing called Vids. What is it? So Vids, Vids is it's powered by Gemini AI. All right. So think about Vids as Google Slides meets Apple iMovie, right? Or any like video editing tool. So if you've made a video in iMovie before, which I'm sure many of you have, so that capability of making a movie and making edits, you can do that now, but now this is all cloud-based and like connected with your Google account, which is great because like at this point, I think we are all familiar with how Google tools are organized in terms of the user interface. And even myself, so like in a past life, I made, different videos. I have a, background in film and video and media. I edited a bunch of videos back in the day. And so one of the hurdles of making a movie is storage, right? Because you're like filming something, these files are big, you got to put them on like a hard drive or your computer. And then if you're like moving from like device to device, if you're using a Chromebook, that gets kind of difficult. And so this idea of having a video editing tool in your Google Workspace account that is tied to your Google Drive, that's a game changer. All of the files, all of these, these like, big files, whether it's like videos or images or audio, all of that is linked with your Google Drive account that you could access anywhere, and you can invite people to collaborate on this video with. So again, all the things that you would do with a Google Doc, now you have that capability with a video editing tool. And again, that's a game changer. It's already seamless with our current workflow. It's all pretty cool. So how do you access Google Vids? There's different ways. Again, the first step is you want to be signed into your New York City Public Schools account, your @schools account, because again, we want to ensure that the files that you're using, the platform you're using is safe to handle, anything that deals with PII, personally identifiable information. So step one, you sign in with your @schools account. 2, open up a new tab and you can go to vids.google.com, and I'm going to remember to switch my tab here. Okay, so actually, this is the wrong, I'm going to switch back. I'm not signed into my New York City account, but what you could do if you are signed into your @schools account, you could also go to your Google Drive, and then you would go to Drive, New, and then Vids. Let me test something out. Let me see if I can show that here. I've got different, yeah, that's not gonna work. Okay, so all this to say, I'm just verbally describing how to access Google Vids. So vids.google.com, or you can go to your Google Drive, you go to New, and then you should see something that says Vids. Okay, so let's continue exploring Vids features, and then we'll get into the actual demo. All right, so you can do some really interesting things using Google Vids. You can create a storyboard. So I'll demonstrate what this looks like in terms of giving it a prompt, and then it'll create what the storyboard, what the different titles could look like, which is pretty cool. You can do voiceovers, of yourself, students, anyone. You can even do an AI voiceover. So if you are like 100% of people out there and don't like the sound of your voice recorded, you could type out what the slide says or type out text, and then there's a library of different AI sounding voices that you could use to orate your text, which is pretty neat. And then I think one of the most, I guess, like attractive features of using Vids is its, I guess, like association or access. It gives you access to this library of stock footage and AI generated images. So if you're looking for footage of like a forest or a lake or what have you, you have this library of stock footage that you can use for your video, which is pretty cool. Like it's all like professionally shot and really interesting things there. Okay, so let's move on. Storyboard creation. So I'm next to a phone here. I don't know how to turn it off. So I've just been picking it up and hanging it up. All right. So storyboard creation, Vids allows you to quickly generate a storyboard from an idea or prompt. And so I'm assuming most people here have used a tool like Gemini, ChatGPT, etc. So the first thing you do is you give it a prompt, right? So, generate a lesson plan on X, or help me build an agenda for teachers on what have you, and it'll create it. So it's the same process with Vids and like with visuals, which is pretty interesting. So you can open up Vids and say, hey, I want to build a video. So I'm at a school right now. Somebody's calling. I should like disconnect this thing here. All right. If it rings again, I'll disconnect it. So you could say, hey, build me a video about like a welcome video for a school, and then it'll suggest what the outline of this video looks like. I'm going to demonstrate what that looks like. So that's pretty cool. I just described the voiceover. So here's like an animated GIF on what this looks like, right? So you have your text or your script on the side. You can write out what it says, and then you have these different AI generated voices, okay, that will tell you, or you can you can preview what they sound like, and then it'll give you a description of what it sounds like, conversational, etc. Okay, and then stock media, as I told you, it has this library of royalty-free stock videos and images that you can use. Okay, all right, now I'm going to disconnect this. Sorry, folks. Okay. Yeah, I'm at a school right now and there's a phone next to me, but now it's not gonna ring. So all right, so stock media and then AI generated images are all in there. Okay, let's get into the exciting stuff. Let's use vids. All right, so I'm gonna switch to this tab. Okay, and now I'm gonna go to vids.google.com. Okay, great, Jackie, thank you for confirming that. Okay, well, okay, let me check the chat over here. Oh, Nicholas, yeah, man, I'm sorry. You had this issue last time. I'm not sure why it's not working. I wonder if it's because you're a district staff member. So like you might have to put in a ticket to have them look at your Google account. So Nick, if you want to follow along, maybe open up like an incognito window or a different window where you're signed in with a different account, be it your personal Gmail account or something else, and then see if you can access vids that way. But otherwise, yeah, I think you might have to put in a ticket. So, and this goes to anybody else on the call that's a New York City Public Schools employee. If you don't see vids, if you don't have access to it, you might have to put in a ticket, and they're gonna have to just like look at your account one more time. So sorry about that. Yeah, Lisa, it's free. So this is, nobody should have to pay for access to vids. Like I believe it's a core service, so it should be free. And yes, Laura, it does help to be on the latest version of Chrome. It helps to be on Chrome. I know some people really love using Edge. I don't know why am I laughing at that. Nothing wrong with Edge, but yes, since these are like Google tools, it helps that you're using Chrome. So try that. Okay. All right, Laura, thank you for everybody likes to hate on Edge. And apologies if you do honestly like Edge. Maybe I'll offer a session on the benefits of using that. So let's continue. All right, so and the way that I'm sharing my screen, you can't see my URL bar, but I just went to vids.google.com and it gave me this. Okay, so these are the different vids that I've tested out, created in the past. I'm just gonna start with something new. Stop it. You know what? Edge is never gonna be fetch, Laura, right? Okay, so we'll just leave it at that. So I just clicked on create a new vid, and this is the window. And this is the window that it gave me. Okay, so it says help me create, and this is what we're talking about in regards to using a prompt. Like we have, if you click on the side, there are different templates also that you can use. So these are different templates. This kind of skews toward like corporate in terms of like what the templates look like. So if you're a K-12 teacher, you know, I don't know how many annual reports you're creating. Maybe you're creating a lot, you know, or not, or you know what roadmaps you're making. But I will say this: like these templates are cool. Again, they tend to lean a little bit toward corporate, but you could also modify them. Maybe you do like the look of one of these. You could always modify them. There's a record button here, so you can record using your webcam that's built into your laptop, built into your Chromebook. You or your students can record videos and directly put those into the Google Vid. And if you had a video already, maybe you shot something on your phone and then you put it on your computer in your Google Drive, what have you, you can upload your media to your Google Vid. All that said, I'm going to start with this, help me create. And then it says down here, and I apologize if the screen is small and it's hard to read, but it says describe your video in a few sentences, and you can use the @ symbol to include different files. That's a little bit advanced. I'm not going to get into that, but I will try to describe a video. So I'll say here, you know, I want to create a welcome video for my elementary school that has a focus on environmental issues. All right. So again, just like with anything with prompt design, prompt engineering, the more context, the better. Right here, I'm just gonna add that. I'm gonna hit next. And so what it is, it's using Gemini to analyze your prompt, and it's suggesting what this video should look like, which is kind of cool. So introduction, beautiful school grounds, showcasing garden and nature areas, your voiceover, our environmental focus, students planting trees and flowers, recycling program, learning about nature. This is all pretty cool. This also looks like a long video. So again, you can say next and you can include that all in, and you can always delete what you don't want. All right. And then some voiceovers. Okay. Or you can delete from this window here, or you can add. So you have full creative control over how you want to use it. So I'm going to hit next. And then I can choose a design again. So like, actually this looks appropriate just because there's a tree here, but actually I kind of like light backgrounds. I'm just gonna go with this one. I know I've used this before, but I kind of like this one. All right. So what's interesting is that it's already populating it with videos from its royalty-free library, like in here. Okay, so if I click on this slide, it's going to give me a preview of what this looks like. Okay, so right now we're previewing this design, and if you like it, which I do, I'm going to hit or click on create the draft video. All right, so sprinkling in some AI magic, great. So you want to give it some time. This all depends on how quickly your, connection is. And so here it is. And it also gave me a script there. This is almost, it's not New York City. You're right, Lisa, it's not. So let's go in and I could have been more descriptive in my prompt. So you're right. We could be more descriptive, or what we're going to do, we're going to go in and replace some of the footage. Okay. So you can always give it feedback. Maybe it's a park. That's central to everything. A central park. Okay. So let's just see what this looks like here. Also, as I mentioned, it already created my script for me. And I believe it already has the AI generated voice. So again, let me know in the chat if you don't hear this. You should be able to hear, but I'm going to play what it has right now.
Hi there. Welcome to our amazing elementary school. We're excited to show you around and share what makes us special. Let's start with our lovely school grounds. We take pride in our green spaces and believe in taking care of our environment. Our gardens are where magic happens.
Okay. Did folks hear that? Maybe feel free to give me a confirmation in the okay, Nick, thank you so much. Thank you. All right. First of all, this is pretty remarkable. So I just had a very basic prompt. If you remember, I'm writing a welcome video, or I'm creating a welcome video of our school that has environmental focus, and it created this already. And so again, everyone here is, I'm sure, busy, and it's difficult to start things from scratch, especially if you're not one that has made videos before. But this gives you a template already. All right, so let's start from here. Welcome to our green school. Maybe the green school is not the name of your school. So again, you just double click, and then you would treat it like you would a Google slide. All right, so we at this point, we're all familiar with how Google Slides works. And so you treat it similarly. Welcome to green school, welcome to PS, 333, the super, green school. All right, whatever. You can highlight it. You can use the same text format features. You can change the font. Again, we are all familiar with this layout because we've all made, different slide presentations in the past using Google Slides. I like the other font better. All right, so it's as simple as editing that. So now, if you've never edited a video, it's a lot of re-watching what you did, right? Just like making sure that that scene looks fine. So I edited the text. I'm going to hit play.
Hi there. Welcome to our amazing elementary school. We're excited to show you around and share what makes us special. Let's start with our lovely school.
All right, so that was easy. Updating the text. I don't like the sound of this AI voice. It doesn't sound that inviting to me. So if you look at the bottom here, you have different tracks. You have different, they look like lines here. All right. And so this is what's considered like a non-linear editing system. I don't expect people to remember that, but essentially what it means is that you have different layers of your video. You have a layer for what people see. So these images here, this is your like video layer where you can add videos, you can add images, and then down here, this is your audio track. All right, so like this consistent like skinny rectangle here where you can see different waveforms. That's your audio track. This is the, that like violin, generic music you're hearing in the background. Let me play it one more time.
Excited to show you around and share what makes us special.
Okay, so that then, like that's your audio track, which you can edit also if you don't like that. And then this down here, like these different, these other smaller rectangles, these are the AI generated like voiceover that is related to this script here, right? So whatever it says here, it's going to say it. Here, let me play this one more time.
Hi there. Welcome to our amazing elementary school.
Now I'm curious, if I edit what it says here, will it update the voice? Let's see. So hi there, welcome to our amazing elementary school. So if I delete this, welcome to PS333, the super green school. Let's see what happens. Okay, so I added that in there. It might not do it because I might need to click generate the voiceover, but I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna play it anyway. I'm gonna see what happens.
Hi there. Welcome to our amazing elementary school.
Okay, so it didn't do it yet, right? So I'm gonna click on the audio down here, and then I'm gonna click generate voiceover. And I think the current vibe right now is narrator, right? I'm gonna hit this play just to test it out.
Hi there. Welcome to PS333.
Okay, so yeah, so that's what it is. And if I click update voiceover, it'll update it to my updated text. But again, I don't like this voice. I'm gonna click this pencil button. Depending on how much time you have, right? Like these are the different voices. I mean, I think it makes sense to choose. Okay, so there's educator and there's teacher, friendly, higher pitch versus a teacher, clear, low pitch. I think we all want the friendly, higher pitch. I'm gonna preview this.
The voice you select makes a difference in how viewers will respond to your video.
Okay, so for the sake of this demo, I'm gonna choose educator. I'm gonna select it. Okay, so now I updated the voiceover and I'm gonna click update here, replace existing voiceover. Cool. So I'm gonna hit replace. It's doing its Gemini magic stuff. And then now if I play it, let's see what it says now.
Hi there. Welcome to PS333, the super green school. We're excited to show you around and share what makes us special.
So that's pretty interesting, right? So again, prior to this AI magic stuff, again, I've made a bunch of videos in the past. If I wanted to update that to say like a new school name, I would have to get back on the microphone and record myself saying that. Now you can just, it's literally like updating a Google Doc, and now it's going to say whatever is in there. So depending on what kind of video you're making, depending on what kind of feeling you want your audience to experience, like maybe that works. But also you can kind of tell that's an AI, very generic voice, right? And like, it's up to you whether you want that or not. So you could update this to have your own voiceover, right? Let's see what that sounds like, or like how we do that. So if I wanted to, I would hit this again. There's an option in here where you update the voiceover. You know what? Okay, I need to click this one. Extend the scene to match. All right. I'm going to go over that later. But right now I'm just going to continue with this. So I showed everybody how easy it is to update the voiceover to the different library that's there. And then if you want that AI voice to say something different, you literally just edit what's in this scene right here. Okay, so let me continue playing it one more time.
Hi there. Welcome to PS333, the super green school. We're excited to show you around and share what makes us special.
Let's start with our lovely school grounds. We take pride in our green spaces and believe in taking care of our environment.
Okay, so for this particular slide here, it still has the old AI voice, so keep that in mind. If you are using like this pre-generated template, you would now have to go into each one of these voiceover clips, and then you would have to update it to that that educator sound, right? So before I get into that, this slide says our beautiful grounds, and there's no, can you make it say 333 instead of 333? Yes. Let's see. So then let me go back here. You would just have to type it 333. Okay, and now let me, oh look, this is what I was looking for. It says record myself. Should I do it now? I'll do it later. Okay. I'm assuming, okay. let's see what the voiceover sounds like. Okay. It says that update voice. Let me just update this. I'm replacing it. Okay, it's doing it. That was quick. All right, let's see what it sounds like when I play it from here.
Hi there. Welcome to PS333, the Super Green School. We're excited to show you around and share what makes us special.
Okay. If Lisa's excited, I'm excited. I'm just going to say that right over there. Okay. So yes, you can have it say different things. Again, I say this all the time when I'm showing educators how to use like different AI tools. I think educators are the best people at using these tools because educators know the best way to ask questions, and you have the expertise, and you can identify if something is BS or not when it's like generating stuff. Okay, so using these tools, it's all about how well can you ask a question, and like how creative can you be in terms of using these tools, and like updating the language. So yeah, it was saying 333, so you just update it to say 333, and educators are really good at thinking like that. All right, our beautiful grounds. Do I want it to say that? Sure, that sounds good, but maybe I want a different image in here. How do we do that? Okay, so just like a Google slide, there's something that says insert. You can insert, you can generate an image, you can generate a video, or you can go to stock and web. I like going to stock and web photos. At this point, I personally prefer stock images and videos than AI generated ones. I know that's, that's my personal preference. And of course, it depends on what it is. Yes, Lisa, you can upload your own, media also. So like insert right there, it says upload. So you could upload pictures that you took or videos that you have. But for this particular demo right now, I'm just going to choose a stock footage. So what happens if I type in New York? I'm not even going to say New York City. I'm just going to type in New York. All right. Oh, this is beautiful. That's a view from the cafeteria. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm just going to, oh, it already inserted it. Cool. So, and again, just like a Google slide, you can expand, make things bigger or smaller. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. Can you, are they hiring? It was who? Google? Is Google hiring? Careers.google.com. Don't ask me why I know that URL off the top of my mind. Oh, the school. Oh, okay. Yes, well, let's Lisa, you and I will we'll create the school, and then we can be the ones hiring people for it. All right. So let's see. So welcome to PS333 Super Green School. All right, we updated the visual. Let's see what it looks like.
Go around and share what makes us special.
Let's start with our lovely school grounds. We take pride in our green spaces and believe in taking care of our environment.
So that was just an image. You can upload videos also. So explore the garden. Let's see what this looks like.
Students learn, explore, and grow. Well,
actually, like I thought that was ideal. That made sense. You have students and teachers. It's a video. You have this here. Great. And so again, yeah, you can like skip forward. So here, that definitely does not look like New York City anyhow. So okay, look, welcome to school name.
Where learning and nature come together.
Okay, so welcome to, again, just like using Google Slides, welcome to Super Green School. I want everything on one line, select all, decrease the size of the text. All right, we all know this. And look, it's when you click on media, it gives you, oh, that's so interesting. I know this is really small to see that text, but it says, find aerial shot of the school with ample green space. It's suggesting the type of clip to look for. That's really interesting. I've not seen that before. You can record video using this, or you can keep the video. I'm tempted to click on this. Find an aerial shot of the school. Stock and web. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so it took that prompt, it put it here in this search bar, and now it's giving me an aerial shot of different places. Oh, that's interesting. And so again, like this is all the library that's part of Google's library that you have with Vids. How do I preview this? Okay, I'm gonna hit play. I'm gonna see what this looks like. So I'm just gonna click this playhead, move it back. I'm gonna play it.
Welcome to School Name, where learning and nature come together.
Okay. All right. So again, if you've never edited a video before, it's a lot of watching and rewatching what you edited just to make sure that it flows properly. All right. So we updated this video. I'm gonna keep that aerial shot that looks like it could be Columbia University uptown, right? But then it says this, but the text is still off. So let's edit the text. So I'm clicking on where'd that text go now? So I would need to. Okay, so I guess there's no text that says that. So let me play it one more time.
Welcome to School Name, where
Right, welcome to school name. Oh, I know why. Because I'm still in this video library area. So let me see this. Templates. I'm looking for that area where you can see what it says. I'm not sure where it went, but we can also update this. All right. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure where that screen went. We're all learning as we're going here. Let's see. Split audio. Okay. So let's just continue.
and nature come together.
All right. We'll figure out how to update that. I'm not sure where that went. Text. Okay. All right. I'll figure out where it went and then I'll share it with everybody. So as we continue, we're going
Ability.
over
We
how to edit the text, how to edit the voiceover, how to edit the different media. And so and this one right here, if I wanted to update the this like the instrumental music in the background, we can look at that too. So let me play this.
teach and live by green principles every day.
Okay, so maybe I want different audio for that. If I double click on it, I have this here. So I can go to insert. You have these different areas here. I'm going to say, I don't want to generate an image stock in web. Okay. And then I want to call this out because this is important. So in this search area, it says search for videos because this little drop down is set to videos. But if I click on this drop down, these are all the different types of medias that you can find. So Google Images, GIFs, sound effects, music, stock images, etc. So what we're looking for is music. So if I click on music, these are the different types of music they have. And it has it organized by, I guess, category: children's, cinematic, etc. Again, you can type in here. Let me just type in. If I type in school, let's see what happens. School music. What does school music even sound like? Let me play this. Again, a very similar experience to iMovie, like looking at their libraries. My Cool School. That sounds like something I would have named. I would have named that file that.
This is my school. My school is cool.
Okay, that I'm on the fence about using, but if that works, you could use this one. All right, that's fine. That's fine. that was like singer songwriter. All right. So the first thing I'm gonna delete this existing track that's on there. So again, it sounded like this.
Students get involved in
No, I don't want that. I'm gonna move my playhead back all the way to the beginning. All right, I'm gonna delete that music, and then my playhead's in the beginning. I want this education music thing. Sure. Okay. So there's a plus button here, insert audio, and so now it's recreated it, or it added this on here. So now what does it sound like?
Hi there. Welcome to PS333, the Super Green School. We're excited to show you around and share what makes us special.
Let's start with our lovely school grounds. We take pride in our green spaces and believe in taking care of our environment.
Okay, so now there's different music. If you want, you can go in there. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so when you click on different things, you'll see the speaker icon. You can click on it, and then you can do like a fade in or a fade out. You can adjust the volume. Right now it's a little loud. Maybe I'll bring it down to maybe 60%. So now you can hear the voices better.
Our gardens are where magic happens.
Okay. There's a lot of capability you can do here. It's very similar to WeVideo, if anybody's ever done one of those before. So, okay, so let's say you go through all this. Actually, let me demonstrate one more thing before I export it out. Let me see if I can get to it. I want to test out the voice recording feature if I'm able to find it again. Let's see. I don't know where that went. Okay. We're all learning as we're going here, folks. So let me just test this out. So, oh, yay. Okay. Now I found it. So if you wanted to go in and update how the AI, what it talks or what it says. So this one right here, it's not going to, currently at this point, it doesn't say welcome to the Super Green School. If I move the playhead back here and I play it.
Welcome to school name.
Welcome to school name. Does not sound professional at all. I'm going to click on the audio clip, which is right there, not the music, the audio clip. And this is what you want down here where it says scripts. So you click on that. This is what we're looking for. Okay. Now we all know scripts, welcome to school name. So then you would have to change this, all right, to what the school name is or what you want it to say. Welcome to, the Super Green School. Okay. Also known as PS, remember 333. Okay. And so now if I update or generate the voiceover, replace existing voiceover, yes, replace it. Okay, let's listen.
Welcome to the Super Green School, also known as PS333, where learning and nature come together.
Okay, all right, so that's what you do. Again, if you lose this script a window, it's down here, the lower right. You just click on scripts and then it shows up, all right? And so then you can use AI to update that. I really want to, okay, great. So I clicked on this audio clip right here, and this is the last thing I'm going to show, and then I'll go over like how to export this. It says record myself. Let me see if I can record my voice. Voiceover. All right, let's see how well I can read and speak at the same time. 3, it gives you countdown. Welcome everyone to the Super Green School, also known as PS333, not 333, where we teach and live by green principles every day. All right, so I don't know if anybody heard that. Okay, so preview. I think it's in there. Let's see it. Let's try it. Let's preview it. Welcome everyone to the Super Green School, also known as PS333. Sounds good to me. So I'm going to hit insert. And then it put it in there. Okay, so keep in mind, this clip is longer than that clip. So look, if I move my mouse to the edge, I can extend it out. All right. And now it's matched with the length of the original audio here. And look, I didn't delete the first one, the original one. So now this is going to have 2 people talking at the same time. What's that sound like?
Welcome to the Super Green School,
everyone.
also known
Chaos. I hate it already. So just click on, be sure to delete that original clip, and now I should have my own voice in there for this one. Welcome everyone to the Super Green School, also known as PS333, not 333, where we teach and live by green principles every day. Oh look, the video was bugging out there. I think it's because I was extending it out. I don't think the video was long enough. So there's ways to remedy that. I could bring it back to the original length and change the speed. So it's a slower like pan of the city, and then now the clip is longer, and then it'll match the length of like the audio clip. Like now we're getting into like the weeds of what it is to edit a video, right? I'm not going to get too far into that, but as we can see here, there's a lot of capability, a lot of power with these tools. So let's say you make this video, looks great. How do you export it? What are your options? First of all, if we look up here, just like a Google Doc, you can add comments. All right. So if I wanted to add a comment here, I'll say, ew, terrible voiceover. Who is that? Okay. And then now you hit a comment in there. Just like using a Google Doc. So the collaborative nature of creating a video is there with this. You can share this out. Again, we all know this sharing interface right here. So you can add your co-teachers, colleagues, what have you. And so now that it's there, what can we do with this video? So file, you can download this as an MP4, or you can export this to your Google Drive. All right, so you have different options. Let me download it as an MP4. That's interesting. So that's great. So it's preparing to download. If you download it as a video file, you can upload that to your social media channel, your website, what have you. Upload it to YouTube if you have that enabled, or if you export it to your Drive, you can share that in Google Classroom, all that stuff. Okay. So I just went over a lot of things. I want to know if anybody has any questions. Feel free to put it in the chat. Feel free to unmute yourself and ask me as this is downloading. But again, every teacher and maybe students also have access to Google Vids. Some people on the call said they did not have access to it. Again, I would recommend creating a ticket and having folks take a look at your account. So let's see. Okay, so I downloaded the video.
Hi there. Welcome to PS333.
Okay. You can't see my screen yet, but hold on, let me update this. Present something else, entire screen. Okay. All right, so you're not going to hear the audio because now I'm sharing my entire desktop, but this is what I downloaded. This is the actual movie file. Okay, so if I hit play, again, you're not going to hear it.
Hi there. Welcome to PS333.
But it's the audio.
The Super Green School. We're excited to show you around
Okay.
and share.
So you have that.
We hear it. We
Oh, you
can
do hear
it?
Oh, great.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. So there's that. You can download the actual video. And then as I shared, you could also export it to your Drive. So all really interesting things using Google Vids. Video in the past, I think was like a difficult medium to get into because you needed a camera, you needed like special computers, you needed special software to do these things. But now, you know, as somebody that has made hundreds of videos in the past, like the barrier to entry is like it's like super accessible now. You can do this with a Chromebook that has, you know, a web camera, your phone, all of this stuff. So it's much easier to create videos now. And again, we all know how to create a Google slide. If you know how to do that, you're going to have a fine time using Google Vids because the interface is very similar. Okay. Any questions at all over what I just explained? Okay. If you have any questions, feel free to put it in the chat or unmute yourself. I'm happy to have a conversation with that. I would like to give you all time to play with this on your own. So I'm gonna end this call. I'm gonna stay on for a little bit if you have any questions, but thank you everybody for joining us on how to use Google Vids. I'm gonna send out the recording. I actually remembered to record this session this time, okay? So feel free to, you know, I went over how to edit text and everything. There's transitions, there's all that in there. So again, if you have any questions, feel free to send me a message. Feel free to send me an email. And thank you for your time. If you need CTLE hours, let me put the link in the chat if you need CTLE hours. So hang tight. Let me get that for everybody. CTLE request form. Okay. I'm going to put this in the chat if anybody needs CTLE hour. Thank you all for joining me. I'm appreciative of you spending your time at the end of the day. I'm going to pin this in the chat. Okay, so if you need CTLE hours, I just put that in the chat. 1 hour of CTLE credit. Again, you know, if you feel inclined, feel free to test this up on your own. If you have questions, I'm here. But this is a brand new tool, and I think it makes video editing super easy for everyone. So thank you again for your time, and I'm here if you have any questions. Thank you. There it is. Okay, yeah, there's my email address if anybody has any questions. Thank you. And a special shout out to the DIIT team here, with the always welcome Mean Girls references and the support to the other ticket links, etc. Thank you all for joining me. I'm going to end the recording, but I'll still hang out. So thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week. Stop it.